Hey Axis and Allies players, the good captain here. Welcome to a review of Germany's side round 5 and the execution of Allied side round 6 in this game of Axis and Allies D-Day played against a human opponent. I'm going to review now what happened on Germany's turn, then do a quick dice assessment, and then we'll move right into Allied 6. So, the Germans, let's just cycle through. So yeah, they start to push in around Caen, and this is all free movement basically. They can decide what to put in, and there's really no issue. So over there they end up with 3-3-2 to flesh out their 8 pieces. Solid move. They're not expected to lose more than 2 infantry on this return fire, and then these core units will help bolster the defense both against air and against future attacks. So looks great. Okay, over here it looks like the reinforcements for Marines move north. They said no to the fighter or to moving east. And then, yes, the St. Lo is reinforced. And, I'll just kind of cut through this, but it ends up being that 4 dice are rolled and all of them are misses. Four strafing fighters are rolled and all are misses. Okay? So we end up with 2 battles. There's a battle in St. Lo where the Germans score exactly par, they get their hits, and the Allies miss the 3rd kill. So basically both sides hitting their numbers. And then over in Caen, the Germans basically hitting their numbers again, and the Allies not picking up their 2nd kill again. So pretty blasé. But when it comes to the end of the turn, the Germans actually have 9 reinforcements left, and they pick up all 9. So another warm reinforcement roll, which we'll get to here momentarily. So where are we at in terms of the turn, and then let's review the game in terms of dice. Well, for this turn, the Allied side plus the German, the side I just demonstrated, the Allies are net negative 3.16, and the Germans were net negative 1.33. So the Allies officially now have surpassed the Germans in crummy dice for a net negative 10.83. So this is bad, and in the previous 2 games I've recorded the dice on against another opponent. I'm going to make an assessment here, especially based off the reinforcement roll, and say this is shaping up to be a solid Allied loss. The Allies need to get hits. They cannot have such a low hit count. I'm going to do the best I can, of course, to change that and turn that around. But I think the theory is going to hold that regardless of whether the Germans, how well or poor the German dice are, if the Allies can't make their hits, then it's probably a German W. But the other thing that is a big factor here is how well or poorly both the Allied reinforcement pool ends up and how well the German reinforcement pool ends up. And this was definitely a warm German run. So the net negative was +3 on the ruin side because it's all finished now, so we can call it here. And then a net +5, so +3 on the ruin side, +5 on the Rhine side. So this is what I would call Germany +8. I've seen Germany as high as +11. I've in my 3 recorded games where I'm recording the dice, which I realize now is something that basically needs to be done because D-Day is such a short game and there's so few pieces and so few dice. It's actually relatively easy to do this, but yeah, on the Allied side, the British were exactly par +0. Basically, they rolled more or less down the middle. They didn't score 7 on every turn, but 9-4-8-8 comes out to a net +0, so no issue there. The American side was slow in the beginning. Of course, we have 4 fixed on the first turn, 4 on the second was what we rolled, 4 on the third, so we're doing very poorly. But then we rolled an 11, and then we just recently rolled a 9. That puts us back into fighting position. We have 1 more roll. So long as we pick up 6, the American reinforcement pool will be okay. But we are stacked up against a very positive German reinforcement pool, and less worse dice. Both sides have scored pretty poorly in terms of dice, but the Allies again, for the aforementioned reasons, I think are going to suffer for it more than the Germans will. So let's get on with it. When it comes to fighter placement, I'm going to leave this fighter in over this territory. We'll call it G25. I'm going to put an Allied fighter here in P20. And then I'm going to put 4 fighters over Con. I've decided that it appears obvious to me that the German player kind of needs to push pieces in there, so I have to just eat the AA, cross my fingers, and hope that his guns miss, and that my strafing fighters do well enough to at least let ground units do their work in Con without the Germans interfering or making the Germans pay a tax for entering. I don't see, given especially how all the dice stats we just went over, that how to do it any other way. So that's it. And then next we have, in fact, let me just clean this up. And I'm not sure how much of a risk profile we should put in for yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hit Reens. I'm gonna put a bomber on each of the pieces in Reens. Yeah, because then we could zero out reinforcements to St. Lo. Even these armor units would have to pass under a fighter to get there. So yeah, let's do that. Let's take a bit of a risk because I think, again, it's warranted. Both bombers at G34. So here we go. We'll put 1 at the infantry and 1 at the AA in G34. We hit the AA and missed the infantry. Okay, that's good enough. So we'll just go ahead and remove the piece. And then he doesn't get to shoot back. So we're done with the U.S. Air Force. And now we'll move straight into the combat move. We don't need this anymore. Okay. So mandatory moves first. Those 2 tanks have to attack, and then obviously... Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do the AA guns. Okay, AA guns in Con at fighters. So here we go. Yeah, I think we kind of needed that. So, okay, now we're free to continue movement. So we have, what do we have here? I can't see. 2. All right, yeah, we got to make some decisions. So let's just assess their return fire. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So they're likely going to get 2, maybe a third. So let's just put in the minimum. Let's do 3 infantry. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can put in 3 more. And we could max tanks. But I think I want to put in 1 artillery just in case there's a hot roll, or the return fire, of course, cuts through the infantry. 5, 6. Yeah, let's not commit the armor just yet. I'll commit both artilleries. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pips. So we likely get 2 hits. 1 goes on the infantry, and then 1 on the AA. I don't know. We might have to put it to our opponent. Yeah, I'm not ready to go whole hog just yet. So then these Brits come here. You come here. I think these 4 armor are just going to chill there again. You stockpile here. There's no more British in the water. This is it. Okay, now St. Lo. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's pretty simple. Just everybody goes in here. Yeah, and then we move these U.S. troops over here. So we have a 5er. These 3 come here. These 3 come here. There's sort of a cleanup crew in the American reinforcement pool here. These 3 tanks can kind of be used as a fire brigade on the last decision maker move as the Allies. So they, we'll send them where they're needed based on how well or poorly these rolls go. Let's go ahead and move this armor here. Build up a nice armor reserve. Go, you really take advantage of that 3 movement. Just maintain control of that part of the board. These have to attack now, of course. And then these, there's no reason not to move here. That keeps us, yeah, that keeps us in range. And then these need to act as reinforcements, and then these just come in. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't know about that move. Fingers still on that one. Fingers on the piece. And then these come here. Okay, little pause. Yeah, I don't see why being there is any benefit. We'll just move in that one spot. Okay, well that's it. That's everything. Let's continue the battles for St. Lo and Caen and begin the battle for Cherbourg. Just cycle through one last time. Out of an abundance of caution. Just make sure we touched every piece. And it looks good. Done out. And let's see, let's do the G6 fight first. We're expecting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Really, I'm kind of expecting 2 hits here, but no surprise if we don't pick up the second hit. But we kind of need the dice to... Okay, we picked up the second hit. And then we're expecting 2 hits on the return. Okay, so no surprises there. And then also no gains for the allies. Everything's still running down the middle. We need some kind of break here, I think. Even though we kind of threaded the needle there with that AA shot, I think we need a bit more than that. St. Lo. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 2 or 3 kills, St. Lo. Come on. Yeah. 3 kills. All right, thank you. Plus 0.5 there. Obviously, this will all be the infantry. And they hit their numbers. Yeah, nothing low or high there. Okay. And finally, Caen. Huh. Okay, and then finally, Caen. That was warm. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2, maybe 3, so this is plus 1.66, and that is what we needed. That's what we needed, and I'm gonna have to... The situation on the map is such that I have to put this to my opponent out of professional courtesy, and actually to my own benefit. You'd never want to select... If you select the casualties for your enemy and he wants to do something different, then that's, you know, he gets to adjust them when he gets the file from you, and we don't want to do that here. Actually, on second thought, I've decided to just, since this is the final battle, and it's a kind of a tough choice, I think it's only fair that we just save it right here, which you can do with AAA. This has the fixings for a comeback, so I'm knocking on wood, and you know, I think that the fighters here over Caen surviving is kind of a big deal, and I think the dice more or less going down the middle with this kicker at the end has the potential to be a good deal. Of course, it depends on how well or poorly or otherwise the Germans roll on the way back, but we'll cover that in the next video. Thanks for watching this. All the best from the good captain, and bye-bye.